Hey, my name is Chad. This video we're going to take a look at my Kestrel and seeing if I have figured out the way to properly use the app so that in between stages I don't spend so much time manually changing the distances on here. See if we can get a little smoother flow in the middle of matches. So let's take a look at what I found out and see if hopefully this explanation might help some other people. I tried figuring this out from videos online and I couldn't find anything that was a really solid explanation of it, but tinkering around with it, I think I figured it out. So let's go. Okay, so this is a Kestrel. Right here it shows target and direction and the yardage. And then down here we've got the wind, direction, and speed. There's a lot of other stuff in here. This isn't going to be a full Kestrel video, so I'm still learning about this, but typically what I do when I get to a stage, all right, we'll say like this stage here that has distances of 259, 419, 505, 480, and 564. What I've got to do is go into the target menu, select the target, and right now it's at 345. So then I have to push these buttons down here and manually change those yardages and then get that down to 259. Go to the next one, 495. Let's change that to 419. So you can see how in a fast moving match, spending this time doing this for each target gets rather tedious. Always overshoot and then have to go back. So anyways, that's the manual process. So what I did today, and I'll roll in some footage of it, out of my range I've got a spinner at 345, a small round target at 495, and a silhouette down at 745. So I did the manual entry and got the target direction, then set up, got the wind speed, and the numbers it gave me was 1.17, 2.23, and 4.45. On your phone there's a Kestrel Link Ballistics app. So what it will do is it's going to connect in here. So now that it's connected, you'll see a little Bluetooth symbol up here. And what we're going to want to do, let's just prove here. So C target, that's at 505, 419, and 259. So what I did is, oops. So here on the main menu target card, we want to go in there and they've got sectors. So we're going to hit that sectors button, and I've started building some of these up, but I made one that I call Freedom Farm, and from there we'll have that selected, go back. Now this is what was throwing me off, making me think that I had lost everything. You see there's no ranges, nothing is listed here. But if I go down and hit edit targets at the bottom, then it pulls up the distances that I had entered in. So we've got our target distances. Now what you can do, like I said, this is in the edit targets page. Then you can enter in your distances here, and then we'll hit send targets and compute. So what that's going to do, it's going to overwrite anything that's on here. Like you can save, I believe, 10 targets, A through J or 1 through 10, however you want to name them. All right, so now all of that info is sent over here. It cleared out the wind that I had, and now I've got A at 345, B at 495, and C at 745. So it took all of those numbers that I had in here and threw them in. So ideally, once I get that done, I can just go and scan the direction of the target. You see that time right there changes depending on where the target is. You want the back face of the Kestrel. So say the target's right here, you want the back of your Kestrel facing it, and then scan it and stop it. Then what you're going to do is go down to the wind, open up, say the wind's blowing from here. You want the back of the Kestrel facing into the wind, and hit the button again, and it'll take a wind reading. We don't have any wind inside here, but we're just going to pretend. So it's thinking there's a 1 mile an hour wind from 1030 position, and the target's at a 1230 position. So what it's going to do is going to use that to determine the wind, or the windage, and depending on the wind, it'll also change your elevation, I found out. So anyways, out there when I was doing that, I rescanned all the targets, did them again, and doing that I got 1.19, 2.26, and 4.48. So as you can see on my notes here, I mean 0.17 to 0.19 difference. I mean 0.02 mil, and these two were a 0.03 mil difference. So I think that will be plenty good enough. We can go back to the sectors. Say at this next range, the first one, say we're going to start on the big tire stage. I can hit that, select it so the check mark is there, go back here, hit edit targets, and I already entered in the ranges of 381 and 600. Now you can use, if your compass is calibrated properly here, you can point your phone at it and hit these little arrow keys right here. So say one target is there, bink, and say the other one's over here, dink. Now it will fill in the degree of fire based on how you're angling it and when you hit the capture button there. So we'll just use that for the example. So now we can send to the Kestrel, yes, and then boom. So now my wind is gone, and now my targets are 381 and 600, and it leaves B, C, D. It leaves all the extra unused ones out, so it's only going to transfer over what you have entered in here. But then all I got to do is double check my target direction, go down, scan my wind for each target, and I will get updated information here. So that is very, very handy. Let's go here to the sector screen just to show you how much faster this is. So let's enter this in. That's the 259, 419, 505, and 480. So I'm going to go down here at the bottom where it says add sector. I'm going to come up with the name for it. This is at range 3. I don't remember the name. We'll call it, I think it was an animal troop. So you can only put in, I believe, 8 characters. So you got to kind of make a name. But I'm calling range 1, range 2, and range 3. And then I'm naming each of the stages the names they are on the stage briefs, or on the course, the match briefing. So, all right, so we got a name, save. And then we'll scroll down here, select that. So the check mark has it selected there. Go back up here, and then we're at here. Now we want to edit targets. Now this is where it gets very handy. So we got 259 next, 419 next, 505 next, 480 next, and 564. And that's it. We're done. So now it will save that. Oops. I keep forgetting the correct buttons to push here. There we go. Got to hit back at the bottom. So now if I want to go to range 1, the barrel stage, boom, I can go there. I've got them pulled up. I can go back, hit sectors up here, go to this new one I just made, the range 3 animal troop, boom, hit edit targets, and there are my distances already entered in. When I'm on that stage, I can pull this up, hit send, and compute, yes, and then it will clear out what I have here. And now I've got those new ranges all in here. So then I just get the target direction, wind speed, and I've got my dope. Write that down, and this will be a much faster way to go. So the trickier thing to remember about this is the order that you have to push things in. So going to the sector screen from the top up here, obviously you can rename and delete things that you don't need, but you can have lots of sectors loaded in here, and each sector can have 10 targets. But now if I'm going to practice at home, I named my range the Freedom Farm. Then we go back there, and I've got my spinner, small round target, and then my silhouette target. Assuming that the ranges don't change too much, so like we get this paper that shows what the stage name is, and then it will give the distances. Like this is a spinner at 350 and an IPSC at 650. So I can enter those distances in, call it spinner stage, call this one IPSC and long, and enter in for the 650, 500, 400, and 1050. And just do that for each stage. Make each stage a sector. And then I've got it all here. Hit send, and we're good to go. So I think this is going to work. But if you got any questions, please drop them in the comments down below. So I'm pretty confident that between learning how the app works and getting more confident with using the Kestrel, that this process is going to save me quite a bit of time in between stages. As I'm going to the next stages, I can just confirm everything, hit send, and boom, it's there. And then literally all I got to do is have the target selected on here and have it facing towards the target, hit the calculate button. I don't know what the red button's called actually, but I just call it the scan button. So aim it at the target, scan it, and then get the wind, face into the wind, whatever way the wind's blowing, boom, get that speed and direction, and it's going to calculate everything for me and save me quite a bit of time, I believe. So I think I figured out what I was doing wrong on the app. Whenever I would go to the sector screen, there was no distances shown, so I thought it just lost everything, and I didn't want to waste time rebuilding it all, so I was just manually doing it all again. But now that I know you have to hit the edit targets button, that pulls up the ranges, and then you can adjust them if you need to, or just hit send to Kestrel, and it'll relay that information right over here, and that will save a ton of time. So on this next round, I'm going to put this plan into place, and hopefully that will give me just a few more seconds in between each stage where I can kind of catch my breath, relax a little bit, and hopefully get a few more hits. So like I said, at the last match, I had a 60% of the total max score, so I'm off to a good start, I think. So now I just got to keep building on this and get a little bit better every time, and just keep improving. If you want to follow along, see how I do on future matches, make sure you're subscribed. Come along with me, see how I do over the winter. We're going to have a PRS match at a different range every month, going, I believe, till May or June. I don't know when it ends, but we've got quite a few more matches, so make sure you're following along. Keep up with me, and we'll see if I keep getting better and better. If you have any other good tips for using a Kestrel, drop them in the comments below. I'm trying to learn all the tricks there is to this. It is a super powerful little machine, and I'm still very new to it, but I'm trying to learn everything I can, and especially the things that are going to be most useful to me in these PRS matches. Hey, thanks for watching. A tip that I learned on using my Kestrel, hopefully a little bit better. Make sure you're subscribed so you can see how I put this into use at the next match. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up on this video, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving Day today, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great one. Bye.